This video presentation will discuss and illustrate how to construct a low-cost, high tunnel for season extension and overwintering of crops. High tunnels are temporary crop protective structures, typically plastic covered and greater than or equal to 6 feet in height. They are constructed in the field to protect crops from weather conditions and to reduce pests. High tunnels are unheated protective structures. They are ventilated by controlling the roll-up or pull-up sides and or end walls to enhance the environmental conditions inside the tunnel for crop production. They are typically used to extend the crop growing season and can be used to overwinter tender perennial crops. When selecting a site for a high tunnel, choose a site with soil that is suitable for crop production, drains well, away from the shade interference, and oriented with the sun for maximum sunlight penetration. High tunnels can be costly, such as a commercial-grade galvanized steel frame high tunnel versus a low-cost high tunnel made from polyvinyl chloride PVC pipe frame. We will now discuss and illustrate how to construct a low-cost high tunnel. It is based on a previous design by Dr. Tim Coulomb with modifications. The structure modifications and evaluations are conducted at the Florida A&M University Research and Extension Center in Quincy, Florida. The main components of a low-cost high tunnel are hoops that are constructed from 1-inch Schedule 40 PVC pipes, 6 mil polyethylene plastic cover, in-ground metal anchors, pull-up sides, and covered end walls. The following is a list of typical tools needed to construct a low-cost high tunnel. Next, this is a list of materials and supplies needed. The design considerations for the hoop and end wall assembly are illustrated here. Note that a hoop base of 12 feet will give a 6-foot tall structure at purlin height. The end wall consists of 2x4 foot lumber for the door frame. The anchor is made from 3/8 inch electrical metal conduit with a 3/8 inch hole on center. A lace rope or polypropylene rope is threaded through the anchor, a knot is made, the knot will reside inside the anchor, and a loop is tied so that it is flush with the exposed end of the anchor.
So instead of 2 holes, we've got one, and it's further down into the ground, and this seems to be working better. So because the eye bolt, you got to make the hole through and through, and we really just wanted to reduce that weak point. We're going with 1 hole, and in order to be able to provide a loop so that we can tie our structures down and secure it, we're going to use this lace rope. Just a simple tie like so. Holds down through the pipe, and I just use 4 fingers as a measuring amount. Hold that loop and then just make a simple tie. And Vanna, if you would go ahead. So now when this anchor goes into the ground, this hoop is exposed, and we can secure the plastic onto the hoop by looping through this lace rope. We've used it halfway through the season last year. It seems to be working. Next year we'll use it again and see how it does for the remainder of the season. So to anchor this anchor into the ground, it's good to have an insert to protect the circumference of the conduit, because you will be applying pressure with the hammer, with the mallet, and it's gonna cause it to lose its shape and bend, and then your PVC is not gonna fit over the opening. So it's always good to have a rod like that. And of course, when you're pounding, then you would save and prevent your opening from getting out of shape. So these are called snap clamps. They're very handy. They basically just snap onto the PVC. So if you have plastic on there and you have a plastic PVC, it really does not damage the plastic, if at all. Whenever you are inserting your anchors, you want to make sure that it's going in level. You don't want to be at an angle, because then your pipe and your hoop will be misformed. So always check your level on both sides and start drilling 18 inches down into the ground.
To protect a crop area that is less than 12 feet wide, begin by measuring for the first end wall. Measure 2 anchor points 12 feet apart and mark with a flag. For the hoop sections, continue 10 feet apart. Replace the flags with 2-foot anchors, 1.5 foot deep and a 1/2 foot exposed. Continue to desired length. Insert PVC pipe end to end over the exposed 6-inch anchor points. Add snap-on cross connectors and install the purlin. To construct the end wall, first measure the distance between anchors, which will form the length of the baseboard. Using the baseboard measurements, cut a 2 by 6 by 12 foot board to size and secure to the ground with anchors and strap on to the end wall base. A 30-inch door frame opening can be achieved by placing one end of a 2 by 4 by 8 foot board vertically on top of the baseboard. Outline the arc curve of the hoop onto the board and cut to fit. Then secure board to the hoop with a fence rail brace band. Repeat for the second side of the door frame. Complete door frame opening by adding a 30-inch in length of 2 by 4 board. Brace boards together using structural hardware ties. Finally, use a 1.3-inch by 10.5 foot galvanized steel chain link top rail that has been flattened at each end. This can be done with a sledgehammer. Drill a 3/8 inch hole on each of the flattened ends. Then secure with 3/8 inch fence fasteners onto the hoop assembly anchor. Next, using a drywall screw with washer, fasten the top rail to the door frame. This would prevent any back and forth sway of the end wall. Once the end walls are constructed, the next step is to install the polyplastic over hoops.
Don't let it come up. There you go. So what you need to do is find where that crease is. See it right here. And then you run it along the purl line. So I found my center crease here, and I'm gonna go ahead and snap a clamp.
Leave 2 feet of excess plastic along the length of the tunnel at ground level. With personnel stationed on each end wall, pull the polyplastic tight and pin it to the hoop of the end wall using snap clamps. Overlay a section of polyplastic onto the end wall. Pull the polyplastic tight and secure the plastic to the end wall hoop using additional snap clamps. Cut away any excess plastic along the end wall hoop. To secure the plastic to the hoop section, use approximately 45 feet of nylon rope. Form a 1 to 2 inch loop knot on one end of the rope. You'll need 2 individuals to complete this task. Working on opposite sides of the hoop section, toss the non-looped end of the rope over the tunnel. Thread the rope through the lace rope loop on the anchor and then through the nylon rope loop knot. Pull the slack until the rope tension is snug. Finally, tie a quick release knot or other suitable knot. Once tied, pull on the nylon rope back about a foot. There should be enough tension on the rope for it to snap back in place on the plastic.
Take your slack out of it. All right. Make your loop. Make your loop, pull it through. All right, so that's where you are.
Use spring clamps to secure plastic on PVC hoops for ventilation. And finally, access to the interior of the tunnel can be accomplished through the ventilated sides. This completes the installation of the low-cost high tunnel. In summary, this video presentation is intended to be a reference for growers interested in limited square footage high tunnel crop production. It is also intended to aid growers to increase their farm profitability by extending the harvest season into the autumn months, and to get to market early in the spring by overwintering tender perennial crops such as peppers. To request a PDF copy of this publication, Season Extension and Overwintering of Scotch Bonnet Hot Pepper in North Florida, please send an email message to Alejandro Bolques at famu.edu. For assistance with crop production in your area, please contact your local county extension office. If you found this video presentation helpful, please notify the author.